going on, you guys? It's Logan here with Logan's Lessons, and you know that when I have my favorite flannel on and a nice cup of iced tea, things are about to get real. So let me tell you what, we have a new guitar lesson coming, but first of all I want to apologize that I haven't been uploading recently. Things have been getting pretty crazy with the new job, college courses starting back up, and honestly this summer's just been insane. So I'm back now. I'm going to be trying to upload more often, more consistently. So thank you for sticking with me through this, and we're going to get back on track now. Did you notice something? Maybe that? It's a guitar hanger that my brother made me, and it's super cool. I can like hang guitars on it and stuff. And I mean, it's made out of barnwood. It looks sick. So I'm very stoked about that. That's relatively new. You guys haven't seen it here on the channel, I don't think. And so now my corner over here, songwriting corner and video corner and just chill vibes corner, is starting to come together. So the song that we're doing today is You've Always Been by Unspoken. A while back I did a guitar tutorial for the song Reason by Unspoken, which is off the same exact record. You can check that out in one of the corners up there. And that video has done pretty good, and so naturally I decided to do this one too. I also think this song is a very groovy song, so I invite you on the journey of learning it with me. So let's get into it, y'all. You are watching Logan's Lessons. Alright, a few field notes before we jump in. Guitar needs to be in standard tuning, like it probably usually is, and no capo necessary. Let's get it. In the verse and the chorus, there are 4 different chords. The first chord is going to be a D minor chord. You're going to put your second finger, your middle finger, on the 2nd fret of your G string. Then you're going to put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your B string, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of your E string. Should sound like that. Then you're going to go to a C chord, where you're going to put your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your A string, your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of your D string, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of your B string. And then the 3rd chord is going to be a B flat chord. This one's going to be a little bit more tricky, but I promise you that if you work at it, you can do it. It's going to be your 1st finger is going to be on the 1st fret of your A string. Your 3rd finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of your D string. And then your pinky is going to be on the 3rd fret of your G string. Okay? And it should sound like this. That's called a power chord. The next chord we have is an F chord, which can be played like this. It's basically if you take a C chord and you take your top 2 fingers, your 3rd finger and your 2nd finger, and you just move them down a string. So you get your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of your D string, your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of your G string, and your 1st finger on the 1st fret of your B string. And it should sound like this. Alright? So throughout the verse, you're just going to be playing the chords with 1 strum for each chord. Alright? So they should sound like this. And notice I did something there. The last chord came on a little bit quicker than the other one, so it has that little swing to it. So it's D minor, C, B flat, and F. The one last thing to note is on the 4th time going through that chord progression in the verse, it just lands on the B minor and stays there. It does not go to the F. Then we're going into the chorus, where it does the exact same chords, but just with a different strumming pattern. Here's what it sounds like. That keeps repeating. So that brings us to the bridge of the song where things change up a little bit. You're going to be starting on a C chord, And the strumming pattern for this is down, 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 up, down, 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 up to B flat, and you're going to play that twice, to F. Down, 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 up, right? And then you go back to the start. And that happens twice. So this is what it sounds like. Then you go to C, to B flat, then you strum each of these one time. It goes D to C to F to B minor. I'm sorry, B flat. B flat. And that is the bridge. Each one of those are just strummed once. So D minor to C to F to B flat. Okay. So then you get into a chorus where it's all broken down and rhythmic, which is I really love. And it's the same exact chord progression except the extra strumming. So it's just a D minor to C to B flat, F. D minor to C to B flat and F. Then it goes into regular strumming. You know, and then something very interesting happens. The second time it goes through the regular strumming, it changes keys. Yeah, don't worry, don't freak out. It's gonna be all right. We'll get through this. All right? I have to talk down here because that camera got, I gotta talk down here because that camera's memory card went out. But that's gonna be alright. So, changing keys, especially just up a half step like this song, basically it's playing D sharp, C sharp, B, and then F sharp. And that's gonna be very difficult for you to play the shapes of, unless you're advanced. And it would also be difficult to just grab a capo and throw it on there really quickly. So we have two options. Excuse me. We have two options. We can either just throw a capo on there and resume the song, or we can play the chords just moved up one fret, avoiding any open strings. I'll show you what I mean. So D minor, this So right after that second time, everything shifts up one fret. And you're basically just pulling everything up a fret. But you want to, for the D minor, this is D sharp minor now, you're just going to want to make sure that you don't play the D string, the string right above where any of your fingers are, because it'll sound really gross. Let me show you. Ew. No, we don't want that. We want, so just strum the top three strings. Then you get to a C chord, where you're just going to want to play the A and the D string. And then we go to a B chord. That one's okay, just don't play anything but where your fingers are. And then F. Again, don't play any open strings and you'll be okay. Now, there's one other way you can do this. You can just, if you're not playing with the song, you're just playing around a campfire or you're playing for your friends and family, just leave it in the normal key and play it for one more chorus through, and don't worry about changing the key. But that is how you would go about doing it, as long as you're not like super advanced and you don't have a capo and you want to play along with the song or something. So there's one other thing you can do. You can just play it in the normal key as long as you're not playing along with a song. Like let's say you're at a campfire or playing it with your friends or just singing the song by yourself. That's perfectly fine, and that's probably what I would do. Otherwise, if you're advanced, you can use chord shapes to get around that, but they're very gross. So like you can, you know, they're basically just making sure that you don't play any open strings. They're substituting the open strings for you, but I wouldn't recommend going through that. There's one other thing that you can do besides using other chord shapes or a capo, is that you don't necessarily have to play it up a step. Maybe there's one other thing that you can do that I gotta talk down here because that camera's memory card ran out, but we're gonna be alright. I gotta talk down here because that camera's memory card went out. There's one other thing that you can do to get around this, and that's maybe you don't have to play it up a half step. Maybe you just play it in the normal key for one more chorus. And there's one more thing that you can do for this that doesn't... I gotta talk down here because that camera's memory card went out, but it's alright. So, there's one other thing that you can do to kind of evade this problem. Maybe you don't have to play it up a half step. I mean, that's probably what I would do, is I just play it in the normal key for another chorus. So if you're just playing it with other people or playing it at a campfire, just without the recording, maybe just don't worry about moving it up a half step. It's not a super iconic part of the song anyway, and honestly it'll just sound better that way. So go ahead and do that unless you're playing it with the song. If you're playing it with the song, you probably have to move it up a half step, and I showed you how to do so. So good luck. YouTube's copyright law really sucks, and so that even though I'm using this for educational purposes, I can't play the recording for you. But what I can do is I can put the recording in my ear, and then I can play along with the song that way, so you can play along with me on the acoustic guitar all the way through the song. So that's what we're gonna do, alright? I'm just gonna pop it in my earbud and I'm gonna play it. Verse. Where you hold the B flat to the chorus. Verse. On B flat, then chorus. To the bridge. So except for a few of those unwanted open notes that I did there at the end on accident, that is how the song goes. So if you need to, make sure to keep going back and loop that song until you really nail it. So you can play along with the song or with me, whatever floats your goat. That about does it for today, y'all, but I wanted to let you in on a special opportunity. I'm going to be offering one-on-one personal Skype lessons for a very limited time, so I wanted to let you guys know. I'd be very, very stoked to be your guitar teacher, and if you're interested in that, just let me know down in the comments and I'll be in touch with you, or feel free to email me at solidrock303@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Cheers.